Welcome to Kraj Conspiracies with me, Sally Krajcic. Australia, the mystical isolated island near the bottom of the globe filled with fantasy-like monsters they call wildlife. How do we know it actually exists? A common starting point for conspiracy theorists who claim that Australia does not exist begins with the First Fleet in 1787. Despite what history books tell us, the First Fleet, as well as Captain James Cook, was entirely fabricated to hide the mass execution of convicts. Because the British prisons were so overcrowded, the government needed a creative solution to find more room. They opted to sail the convicts out into the ocean and dump them overboard. To keep hysteria low, they fed the British public an adventurous tale of new beginnings on a deserted island, lush with agriculture and enticing coastlines. The conspiracy claims that this facade has been continued ever since. Here are some reasons people suggest Australia does not exist. Number 1, Australian politicians are way too weird. So weird, in fact, that they're probably actors employed to entertain the rest of the world. Remember that guy called Tony Abbott, the 28th Prime Minister of Australia? He was anti-gay with a lesbian sister, liked to gallivant around Aussie beaches in nothing but Speedos, and once ate a raw onion on television. And don't forget Barnaby Joyce, the guy who threatened to euthanize Johnny Depp's dogs when he illegally smuggled them into the country.
If we start letting movie stars, even though they've been the sexiest man alive twice, to come into our nation, then why don't we just break the laws for everybody? So it's time that Pistol and Boo buggered off back to the United States.
Yep. Both actors. Although I think us Aussies would be relieved if the mess that they caused to this country was actually all a hoax. Number 2, there is no physical evidence that Australia exists. Surprisingly, this is one of the most common arguments against the existence of our country. Many of these theorists claim that the myth of Australia is derived from the myth of Atlantis, which coincidentally was an island as well. Since Atlantis didn't exist, Australia mustn't either, right? Australian people themselves don't actually exist either. According to the theory, rather crisis actors are paid by the government to parade around town with odd accents and to convince people that the island does exist. Even people who think they've flown to Australia on a holiday have actually been taken to various parts of South America, or so the conspiracy claims. When you purchase a plane ticket to Australia, you're really paying to be flown around in circles before landing somewhere quite close to the place you took off from. Number 3, Australia is populated by monsters that don't exist. We're said to be crawling with insects, venomous spiders, and deadly snakes. Well, that one is practically true. We have to ask, is this all just a government ploy to keep people away? After all, who'd want a holiday to an island that mirrors the worst challenges of Survivor? Whilst we do appreciate the creativity and drive behind these conspiracy theorists, we promise we're really, really here.